today. Hope all of you are very excited about the news we got to release last night. We will be opening the gym as of Monday, May 18th, 2020. Before I talk about our warm-up today, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for supporting us, for being a part of what we do, for having faith in us. I sent out a pretty long email last night explaining all this, but if you haven't had a chance, please read that, guys. It was sent out last night, probably around like 8:30ish. But that being said, I want to talk about today's workout. Getting into our warm-up today, we have some general mobility work I'm going to have you start off with. You're going to start off with just some stretches, 1 minute of couch stretch. You guys can utilize a couch, you can use a wall, whatever for that. If we don't have access to that though, we've nailed the couch stretch a lot over the past month and a half, 2 months. If you don't have that though, we can always go to a saddle if we don't have anything to prop our legs up on. Saddle, guys, being right here. We're driving the knees wide, feet come together. We're leaning back and we're just stretching out those quads. You can go back as far as you want. Personally, I like to do it right here. That just gives my hip flexor a nice stretch, as well as the quad. All right, so that's going to be for the first minute. That's going to be a minute on each side for couch stretch, or just a minute total with that saddle stretch. After that though, guys, we have 1 minute of Samson stretch. It's the same thing, it's going to be on each side. If you have an ab mat at home, I suggest using that. It makes it a little bit easier on those knees. You're going to take a long lunge out. We're just going to camp out in this position. Arms are up and overhead. Nice extended upper back. And again, just feeling a good stretch throughout the core and throughout that front of the hip flexor, as well as the upper back. Okay, so that's going to be 1 minute on each side for Samson stretch, followed by pigeon. Pigeon, guys, we're just going to bring our legs down. Preferably, we want the leg kind of across us here, but no biggie if we can't achieve that. We can always prop the foot back if we feel pain in the knee at all. I always recommend you bring that foot back. From there though, we're bringing the back leg as far back as possible, and then just kind of sinking the hips into the ground as we do those. Okay, so that's going to be 1 minute on each side for pigeon stretch. Lastly, guys, we have a 1 minute of an active squat hold. So with these, I always like to keep my elbows against my knees. It just helps me kind of drive the knees out, open up the groin a little bit. But what I suggest is maybe throw in some thoracic rotations in there, kind of just move around, get your ankles warmed up. So what that would look like, guys, if we're sitting in an active squat hold, we're camped out right here. I've got my knees against here. I'm kind of pushing my knee over, just kind of getting myself in a good position. Maybe I put the arms up and around like so. Just kind of getting everything nice and mobile as I'm sitting there, okay? We're not just camped out, slouched over like this in our air squat, right? We want to make sure that we're in a good position. So that's going to be for the first 4 minutes. For the first little part of that warm-up. It's not 4 minutes, it's actually like 7 or 8. But getting into the next portion, we have 7 minutes. It's just for quality. You guys are going to be starting off with a jog for 1 minute. That's fine. Figure out a distance you want to jog. It should be nice and light, nice and easy. Throw some butt kickers in there, high knees, side shuffle. Just get yourself mobile. From there though, we're going 3 inchworm to cobra. Those inchworm to cobra, we're going to have our feet underneath our hips. We're going to reach our hands down to the floor, walking the hands out close to a plank position. But once we get to about right here, guys, we're going to dive through, bringing the chest tall, and then we're going to come back to that down dog position and walk those hands all the way up to the feet, okay? So there's 3 of those. From there, we're going 6 lunges. Standard stuff, guys. Let's just get that, make sure that we're keeping the chest nice and tall. As we do those lunges, knees should be tracking over the foot. That back knee should be directly underneath the hip, and the chest should remain tall as we lunge, okay? Lastly, guys, 9 kettlebell or dumbbell Russian swings. I'm gonna grab my handy little dumbbell here. So Russian swings, guys, really easy to do with the dumbbell. You can do this with the kettlebell as well, but we're just gonna do some Russian swings, hinging at the hips, pushing the hips back, just bringing that dumbbell to shoulder height, okay? Just like so. Side angle, right here. Making sure we're just unlocking those knees, getting a nice hinge at the hip as we do those, okay? So that's gonna be a warm-up for today, guys. We're gonna talk about our workout next. All right, so guys, our workout today. Little bit of creativity that you guys are gonna be able to put on yourselves. The way I structured today's workout is it's 90 dumbbell push press, 60 overhead walking lunges with your dumbbell or kettlebell, and then 30 devil press, okay? So, that being said, every 2 minutes, you are gonna perform 10 burpees. The cool part about this workout is that you can structure it however you want. Okay? What I mean by that is it's a total number of reps for each movement. It's a chipper. We did something like this similar in the open last year. For this workout, you guys can do this, partition it however you want, very similar to Murph, things like that. So if you wanted to, you could break this down. I've got a couple examples on Wodify for you guys. 30 rounds, 3 dumbbell push press, 2 dumbbell walking lunges, 1 double press, or 15 rounds. You guys could do 6 dumbbell push press, 4 overhead walking lunges, and 2 double press, okay? So you have the opportunity, guys, to do this however you want to do it. But again, please remember that every 2 minutes, you're dropping down and doing 10 burpees. Now, if that's too many reps for you to get it done within about 30-ish seconds, let's make sure to scale back the reps, right? I'm looking for at least a minute and a half of rest. A minute and a half to perform the work on the dumbbell in between each 2 minutes, okay? So at least a minute and a half to get that done. Movement-wise though, guys, what we have for you, you guys are gonna go through the dumbbell push press. I'm gonna demonstrate the single arm. If you have 2 dumbbells, you can use 2 dumbbells. If you only have single, same thing is gonna apply. You're just gonna do the amount of reps written on the board, okay? So with a dumbbell push press, you're bringing that dumbbell to the shoulder, resting the butt end of that hex on the shoulder. Feet are basically underneath the hips, maybe just slightly outside. We're just trying to think about keeping the elbow slightly up. Think about big chest here. Dip down, keeping the chest nice and tall, weights rooted through the heels, driving up, and finishing with that dumbbell nice and close to the ear. Bicep nice and close to the ear, sorry. So we're coming down, just making sure we're getting full extension at the top. And then also, my core stays nice and active here. Don't let yourself start swaying if you're using a single dumbbell, okay? But that's going to be for your dumbbell push press. Now, after that, we have those overhead walking lunges. You can do that on either arm. However, I would recommend obviously using both. Driving up though, once we have the dumbbell up and overhead, we're then just going into those lunges, right? So as I do these, same thing, think about keeping that core tight as we drop down, keeping the chest nice and tall. Same thing applies, knees over the foot. This is nice and locked out. If we start to bend that arm, this is gonna become a lot harder. Really focus on driving that arm nice and high with that bicep nice and close to the ear. Pushing away, and then going into your next rep, okay? So that's gonna be for the overhead walking lunge. And then lastly, guys, double press. So double press, we're gonna drop down and do a burpee. So for a single arm, you're gonna drop down to the burpee. From here, we're then going to jump up. We're gonna land with our feet outside of the dumbbell, and then essentially we're gonna perform a dumbbell snatch, okay? Just make sure, as we do those, that we're driving up with the legs. It's very easy with these guys, especially single arm, to just kind of half-ass it and pull through like this and just swing it up, okay? Make sure that as we do those, we're moving with intent, we're moving with purpose. You guys are coming back on Monday. All the coaches are gonna see what you've been doing for the past 8 weeks. Get it right. So, lastly guys, after we're done with the workout, you guys have a little finisher, and it's gonna be 3 sets. You're gonna do a max effort plank hold. Now, we're looking for roughly 1 minute on each set, okay? Resting as needed in between. That being said, apply weight if you are one of those ninjas that's just like, I can do this all day, right? Throw a backpack on, use your kid, use your wife, maybe not your husband, that'd be a little epic, but if you can, post it to Instagram, I wanna see it. But again, we're just looking for some weights for roughly 1 minute of a plank hold, all right? So that's gonna be workout for today, guys. Super excited for you today. Hopefully you guys are excited about the news that we're bringing you. More details to follow on that. That's why I'm here at 5 in the morning every morning right now. But we are really excited, guys. I can't wait to have you guys back in here. Looking forward to it, really am. That's all I can say about that, but Monday can't come fast enough. Anyways, you guys have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.